This is a special Zns News update, the recovery. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Keishel Adderley. Prime Minister Perry Christie was back in hard-hit Long Island yesterday to survey damage and assess the needs on the island left flooded by Hurricane Joaquin. He told Zns News there's a long road ahead and the government won't be able to meet the needs alone.
I'm going to have to make an appeal and continue to make appeals for assistance. One, in restoring, and we're magnificent at being able to restore quickly BEC, but we're going to need help, and we're going to need to have poles replaced to get the provision of electricity back in order. And so again, we've made a commitment to go all out to bring relief in the shortest possible time, to bring restoration in the shortest possible time. We have now spread our teams around the affected areas. We have technical people making assessments. Those assessments will be fed into NEMA, and then we will be able to arm ourselves with how we can go about approaching and advising the Bahamian public and the international public as to what we are facing.
After experiencing the storm on Ragged Island over the past few days, our Vaughn Albury and cameraman Karen Miller are in Exuma today. Vaughn Albury filed this report about utility restoration there on some of the affected islands.
In Duncan Town, 11 persons, including this reporter and cameraman Karen Miller, attended a joint service of thanksgiving and praise at the Ebenezer Baptist Church. Telephone and internet services are still off and will be a challenge to restore as the BTC exchange in Clarence Town is underwater. Long Island, Inagua, and Ragged Island share the same submarine cable. The Bahamas electricity team from Exuma, who worked with FICO Wallace and restored power to Ragged Island at 5 p.m. Saturday, flew out of Duncan Town aboard a Bahamas EVAC 9-seater plane piloted by 26-year-old Anthonico Gibson to the southeast Bahamas to assess the power grid. BEC Supervisor Carlton Taylor reports that there is serious devastation in Crooked Island. Roads are impassable, electricity is out, as poles and wires are down, and the power station reportedly had up to 6 feet of water in Landrill Point. Their aerial view showed that some houses had the top floors blown away by Hurricane Joaquin's 130-mile-per-hour winds. The BEC team, which also included cousins Paul and Tavari Armbrister, were able to restore power to Inagua at 3 p.m. yesterday.
Well, in other developments, landing fees are being waived to accommodate relief distribution to the islands. The Minister of Transport and Aviation, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, announced today that between Saturday, October 3rd, until further notice, landing fees at all government airports will not be payable by airports involved in the transport of goods to Long Island, San Salvador, Rum Cay, Acklins, Crooked Island, Inagua, Mayaguana, and Cat Island. Bahamas Air is advising the traveling public that persons scheduled to travel to Long Island, Acklins, Crooked Island, and San Salvador over the next 90 days can change their itineraries for travel without incurring change of itinerary fees. Affected passengers may also request refunds by completing the refund forms online at bahamasair.com. Now, travelers are asked to contact the reservations department at telephone number 702-4140 or toll free from the United States at 1-800-222-4262 to make those arrangements. The United States Coast Guard authorities believe a cargo ship missing since Thursday with 33 crewmen aboard has been lost at sea. The Coast Guard held a press conference this morning, also reporting the discovery of human remains in a survival suit. The Alfaro cargo ship reportedly sent out a distress signal while in waters near Crooked Island that was the last contact with the ship caught up in Hurricane Joaquin. The Lady Rosalind will be used instead of the Lady Matilda for this week's voyage to the southern islands. The boat is sailing at 4 p.m. today into Mayaguana, Matthewtown, Inagua, Acklins, and San Salvador. Officials say no freight charges by the islands affected will come into play. Meanwhile, donations continue to pour in from around the world to help residents affected by Hurricane Joaquin. Many New Providence-based donation hubs have been receiving lots of food and water. Now, if you want to help with the donations of canned goods, water, toiletries, or any other supplies for residents in Acklands, you can take them to the Bahama Grill on West Bay Street and to Bethel's Trucking on East Street South. Well, this has been a special ZNS News Update, The Recovery. I'm Kishla Adderley.